5:06 on Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Good morning to you, friends. How are you? Hope everything is going well. This, by the way, our last broadcast before the July 4th holiday. So woo-hoo. For you and I, Joan, and KGB, this is the beginning of our nice little 3 or 4 days off. And although, programming note, we do have a live broadcast on Red Eye Radio. That is going to be tomorrow night, so I'll be on the air tomorrow from midnight to 5. So tune in if you have nothing better to do at midnight. All right, hey, real quick. moving right along. Super Text line is open, 615-737-9986. I want to start with, it's been a very good day for Donald Trump yesterday. Very good day for Donald Trump, where the big, beautiful bill, right? It passed the Senate. Now, I guess they're going to have a vote in the House of Representatives today. They've already got this thing all teed up and ready to go. So we'll talk about that. But he also, did you hear about, I knew, Joan, that you would have an opinion on this.
Yeah.
The whole CNN thing, not CNN, a CBS thing, where Trump was suing CBS.
Oh, yes.
And, well, it looks like he has, I'm saying he won because they settled out of court. Donald Trump, apparently, and this came down last night, has come to a settlement with CBS regarding that interview with Kamala Harris. Now, for folks who don't remember, and I know you remember, Joan, because I think you and I were working together at the time, where CBS is interviewing Kamala Harris, Bill Whitaker, and they edited her answers to make her sound better than she was. Remember that? She had a word salad answer.
Yeah.
And they replaced it with a far more concise answer. So the accusation being that they asked her the question, she completely screwed up the answer. So they cleaned it up by pulling another part of the interview and replacing her train wreck of an answer with a more coherent message. So Trump, I mean, he sued CBS, and we'll get into why he sued CBS coming up. But this was Kamala Harris's original answer. This is the one that they aired on a promo as the show was getting ready to air. This is what they aired.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
Now
that was so nicely said.
That aired as a promo clip, believe it or not. And so people lost their minds. People are like, oh my gosh, she's going to word salad on our relationship with Israel. This is going to be a disaster. So lo and behold, once the actual interview aired, they cleaned up her answer. This is the cleaned up part. Listen.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
But it seems that...
So you can tell that the second answer is a lot more polished. The second answer is a lot more concise and confident. And so Trump and a lot of other people, of course, we saw what they did and we were like, wait a minute. And think about this. Think about where we were at that moment. Part of the storyline of the election of 2024 was you had Kamala Harris, who is a known word salader, right? She does a lot of word salads. The other knock on her was a lack of confidence. The other knock on her was a lack of policy chops. All of those things were exhibited in that original audio bite. And so I believe that it is fair to say that what CBS was trying to do was make her sound more confident, less word salady, and like she had her policy chops, and that's why they replaced that first audio bite with that second audio bite. And so Trump and his team and a lot of conservatives, started accusing 60 Minutes and CBS of election interference, which is exactly what it was. Well, then Fox News reporting this. Paramount Global and CBS agreeing on Tuesday to pay Donald Trump a sum that could reach north of $30 million to settle the president's election interference lawsuit against the network. Trump will receive $16 million up front. Now, I realize that's pocket change for Donald Trump, but $16 million up front. This will cover legal fees, costs of the case, contributions to his future presidential library, or charitable causes to be determined at Donald Trump's discretion. They say there is an anticipation that CBS will have to pay out another allocation in the mid-8 figures set aside for advertisements, public service announcements, or other similar transmissions in support of conservative causes by the network. Fox News Digital has learned with these considerations, CBS will pay in excess of $15 million. It'll be in excess of $15 million. Remember, ABC paid $15 million to Donald Trump to settle a defamation lawsuit last year. So, I mean, it's going to be, I don't know, I wasn't doing the math, but it's going to be a lot for CBS. And they should. They say sources close to the situation telling Fox Digital that CBS has agreed to update its editorial standards to install a mandatory new rule. Going forward, the network will promptly release full, unedited transcripts of future presidential candidates' interviews, people involved in the settlement. They say that that rule is now referred as the Trump rule. But you know what's interesting, Joan? Why in the world haven't they been doing that all along? Like, it just makes sense to release the full unedited version.
You would think.
I mean, instead of calling it the Trump rule, it should be the this makes sense rule. Is what they should do.
Yes. How about just being honest brokers in the journalism space?
What's that?
Not editing something to make it sound better for the candidate of their choice.
See, that's the thing. And a guy, I don't know if you heard it, but a guy called me on Red Eye. And all right, so you heard that. So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. So he accused me of a couple of things. And by the way, I think I slammed him. I think I hammered him.
He did it very nicely, though.
I did it nicely. I did it nicely. But, I think I talked about this earlier. I think that there's seminar callers that are happening now on Red Eye.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, whatever. I mean, I can handle it, but I just thought it was interesting. So the guy said that I was taking the whole story out of context. So we'll talk about that straight ahead. It is 5:15. Time to check the roads on WTN. Thank you, Joan. And as far as your weather goes, I put it on the floor.
That's good.
I know.
Right where it belongs.
I can just say it for you. What is it? It's just right now it's 70 degrees, but like all through Sunday, because we always do the weather after we're done. All through Sunday it's gonna be mid-90s, partly cloudy, maybe some storms on Sunday, but it's gonna be mid-90s throughout the rest of the week and partly in some clouds.
So July 4th, we're gonna have some clouds, but no rain.
No rain. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And by the way, there's a little fog this morning for some people, so it's mostly to the south and to the east of Nashville.
Okay.
So watch that. It was awful.
Oh, you had to drive through it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
4th of July, they say there's 10% chance of rain. So it's good. If there's going to be rain around you, it's going to be very little showers. It won't be much.
Excellent.
All right. We'll talk about all of our 4th of July plans coming up. So talking about the Kamala Harris thing and how, CBS is going to have to pay, well in excess of the $15 million that ABC News had to pay. And we'll get into that part of the story, too. But a guy called up on Red Eye, and he said that I was taking it out of context, I think. Is that what he said? And I think he also said that I was disingenuous. So I said, okay, well, let's chat about it then. And one of the things that he said is that Fox News admits that they edit Donald Trump as well. And Trump has not sued Fox News. Now, The reason you have to edit Donald Trump, and I know this because I've been editing his audio for like 10 years now, is because the man talks forever. He goes on forever. He's very proud of the weave that he does when he gives interviews. And it's like, how's the weather? And he'll give you, 7 or 8 different things. And he'll say the weather's fine, right? That's what Donald Trump does. Y'all know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. So the reason why Fox News has to edit what he says is because he goes off on all of these different tangents. That's why. And Fox News, I don't believe that Fox News is editing Donald Trump to make him look better. I think Fox News is editing Donald Trump because they're editing for time.
And here's the other thing. They also didn't replace what he said with something else.
That's true.
They trimmed the length of it, but they didn't replace what he said in a deceitful manner.
And that's the thing. And that's part of what I said to the guy who said I was being disingenuous was, and I mentioned this in the monologue, remember the knock against Kamala Harris where she was a word salader and she wasn't strong on Israel. She wasn't strong on policy. She wasn't confident. All of these things. The original soundbite personified all of that. And so they replaced it. And also they replaced it after the promo played. That was also part of that discussion where the interview question aired. They had the word salad answer. People freaked out. And so then they replaced it for the original show once it finally aired. So I think that they were responding to the negativity of what people saw, the Democrat Party, the DNC saw in the promo. And so they decided to make the change. And I think that was really clear. And you know what the guy said to me? I'll never forget this, Joan. When I said that to him, do you remember what the guy said to me?
I don't.
He said, well, that's true.
Yeah, he wasn't one of those guys. He wasn't out to strong-arm you.
No, and I wasn't trying to strong-arm him, except, when somebody calls me disingenuous,
right?
It irritates me. He had something else. Oh, he said that the only reason that CBS settled this case with Donald Trump was because I guess they're trying to be sold or something like that.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, well, I know they are, but I don't buy that. I don't buy that as a reason why CBS is it settled this case. By the way, if that was the only reason, then why are they also changing their policy on interviews?
Mm-hmm.
Because they know that they shanked it. They know that they screwed up. And I cannot believe that a major network would do something so stupid as to air a part of an interview for a promo and then change it for the actual show. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. And clearly they were trying to, in my opinion, interfere with the election. Have you heard what Bernie Sanders said about all this?
Hold on. Before you go on.
Yes.
The Wall Street Journal this morning is reporting that it was a $16 million settlement.
16 mil?
Mm-hmm. 16. 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And he sued for how much? He sued for like $1 billion.
He sued for like billions.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the other thing the guy said.
Yep.
The guy said, well, he sued for like 20 billion and he only got 16 million. And it's like, well, what difference does that make? I mean,
right.
He won. He won the case because CBS settled. So anyway.
President Trump is raking in more money. He took issue with how much money President Trump has made as well.
Oh, yeah. He said that Donald Trump has doubled his income since he started the presidency in 2017.
Because of all the lawsuits that he's settling with the media companies. How much did ABC pay him?
ABC paid him, wasn't it $20 million or something like that? Let me look it up real quick.
I mean, he's doing a nice job earning quite an income suing all the media companies that continue to just act in bad faith.
Well, and the guy said, we should have just aired the stupid call.
I know.
The guy, he also said, because I thought it was a good call, because I don't mind confrontation. The guy also said that Trump is, selling things and all in the crypto, the
Yeah,
coin, whatever.
yeah.
And he's doubled his income that way as well. Well, I told him I didn't believe that was true. And so I grokked it, and it's not true. Donald Trump has not doubled his income from 2017 to now. As a matter of fact, he's had to pay a crap ton of lawyers. He had to lose control of his businesses. We know that as well. And he took a bullet for this country. So, yes. Oh, because his problem was that I said that Donald Trump has sacrificed for our country,
Right.
which he has. And
I don't see Nancy Pelosi sacrificing. In fact, she has how many bajillions of dollars now trading in the stock market?
Oh, it's insanity.
How about the Clintons and the Clinton Foundation and Joe Biden and his becoming so wealthy with his son?
Yeah,
by
the
his
influence
side.
peddling. Yeah, I brought that up.
There's so much that you could say about what Democrats are doing
Mm-hmm.
in spades compared to what we know about Republicans. They all do it.
That being said, why is Donald Trump selling cologne?
Yeah. That's a
Like,
good
can
question.
I
He
be
sold
honest
gold
here?
Sneakers, remember those?
Well, those gold sneakers are worth a lot of money. Like you guys tipped me onto that.
Yeah.
That those sneakers were a really good investment for people. I just don't understand the cologne. I'm having a really hard time with the cologne.
It's probably it was a Father's Day thing,
Oh, okay.
right?
I guess.
I mean, everybody would buy cologne and give it to their dad.
yeah, smell like Trump.
Sure, just to have that bottle of cologne on his nightstand or
Sure.
whatever,
Sure.
It's just a
I wonder what it
novelty.
smells like.
Yeah, I don't. Oof,
I'm not a big cologne wearer, so whatever.
I noticed.
Yeah. Oh, you don't want to. You don't want to. You
I
know
don't
what?
want to smell you.
I would be the. Do you know what? When I do wear cologne, I make Amy put it on because I would like drown myself in cologne, and I actually did that one time. Amy and I went out, and she said, "You put on that cologne, right?" And I said, "Yeah, you told me to put on the cologne." And she's like, "Honey,"
Did you take a bath in it?
she said, "I love you. You put on too much." And I said, "Well, how much am I supposed to put on?" And she did this. She said, "What did you do?" And I said,
Dan, no, it's you spray twice, walk in it. That's all you got to do.
Well, I know that now, KGB.
Amateur hour.
Did KGB just call me amateur hour?
I think he did. Yep.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Listen, if the worst thing I do today, which is probably not going to be, but if it's the worst thing I do today is not knowing how much cologne to put on, I think it's going to be a good day. Joan, what's coming up? 537, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Well, we got a bunch of poll questions. So
Oh, that's cool.
the one of them, hey, Dan, a poll question for you. Should a grown man go on a Disney cruise? Yes or no?
Does he have kids? Is he going with kids or going just with
I think that
by
was
himself?
that was a slap at me.
I know, but
Okay.
that's a legitimately interesting question though, because if he takes his kids, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if he's going alone, someone should put him on some sort of government watch list.
Do you know, I actually know some man children who love Disney stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And they,
I mean,
yeah.
Disney adults, the psychos of the world.
I don't think they're,
Disney adults?
No.
Have you been to Disney? Do you just see like a couple going, or just a guy or a girl by themselves and just getting way too into it, like cutting kids in line to see the princess? You haven't seen that before?
well, I have not seen that, but I, as an adult, have indeed gone to Disneyland by myself.
How old were you?
I was early 30s.
Wow.
Was
Why,
there
is
like?
this, why am I being judged?
I mean, why by yourself? Why not take someone with you?
The family couldn't go at the time. And I didn't have anything to do. I think they were out of town. I didn't have anything to do, and I wanted to go to Disneyland.
So,
Do you know what it was?
You lived in LA though.
Well, yeah.
Okay, that's that. Okay,
Do you know what it was, though? It was that my kids were really young. They couldn't go on the roller coasters. So it was, so we're not going to be
Sucks
with
to be
them.
them.
Yeah, so I'm going to go, and I'm going to go on all the roller coasters. That's what it was.
Okay.
I didn't have any friends.
Fair.
So I don't know why.
That's not true.
I don't know why there's, this whole thing about
Well, how you explained it first, but since you lived in LA,
Yeah.
you didn't have like your kids couldn't go on the rides themselves. Like that's a different scenario. But if you were like in Nashville and you were in your 30s going, you know what, I'm going to fly over to Disneyland by myself, that's a different ballgame.
Hey, let's get back to the poll question thingy.
Yes.
So somebody, this was 0552. What's the highlight of your 4th of July? Barbecue, family, fireworks, or D, other? What do you think about that?
I think just that like time with your family is also it's always good to just spend time with them and barbecue. I mean, they go hand in hand. The barbecue goes with the family. I don't think it's one over the other.
Here's another one. Ketchup or mustard on your hot dog?
Ooh.
Or cheese on the burger before or after you grill it? I like that one.
Schumer, you fool.
I think that mustard for the hot dog. That's me. As far as, not a lot of people, not everybody, I'll say it this way, not everybody actually wants to spend time with their family. Depends on what family is. If it's like your mom, your dad, your brother you didn't get along with, whatever, then there's a lot of people that would say, oh, I don't want to spend time with them. Now, I would. I'm sure you would, Joan, but...
I go by this. You don't have to be blood to be family. Whoever you're close with and you trust, that's your family.
Do you remember the whole thing about Friendsgiving?
Yes.
Where
Yes.
people were deciding, I'm not going to spend... Because in my house, when I was a kid, those Thanksgivings were absolutely dysfunctional. Like, they would talk politics, and they would start yelling. Like, the more wine they drank, the louder they yelled, right? So my dad was a conservative. My family from the East Coast, not shocking, they were on the liberal side, and they would just start arguing about politics. And it's like, why do we do this? And it didn't make any sense to me. So people decided at some point, it was a story a couple of years ago, where people started doing the Friendsgiving, where they started just, I'm not going to bother going to the families. I'm going to start spending time with my friends. And I personally, I thought that was a shame. And as I get older, I actually more believe that is unfortunate, because as a guy I'm 57, and I remember when those Thanksgivings at my dad's house, where the older that I got, when I was young, they had a big table, right? This is, Thanksgiving story time. They had a big table, and it was really crowded, even for that big table, because the family all came out, right? As I got older, there started to become more room at the table and more room because people were dying. The older relatives, they started dying off, and there were fewer and fewer chairs that we needed. And then when I got into, probably my early to mid 20s, maybe later 20s, when I got married, I started to miss those times with all my relatives. And it started to, make me sort of miss my family Thanksgivings, because I hadn't seen those folks in a long time. And I looked back fondly on all of that fighting, because it was family. And there was a point in my life where I really missed that. And the people that were at that table and were now dead. And so, I don't know. I think when you start blowing off your parents, your brothers, whatever it is, then sometimes some people look back with regret that they started blowing them off because you didn't see them after that. Everybody ended up dying. So for me, I'm very much appreciative. And by the way, once you lose your family, like your parents, then
Yep.
you may choose to regret not going to see them at Thanksgiving. So I don't know. I kind of like the ketchup and mustard. I don't know why I went on that rant.
Wow, that was, yeah.
Sorry about that. Anyway, ketchup and mustard on hot dogs. You want to do that one?
Yes, I've already started it.
All right, very
Ketchup,
good.
mustard, and I added both for those people that love both.
Well, that's by condiment.
Is it legal?
Did you get the joke, Joan? By condiment?
Wait,
Yeah, I
hold
got
on.
it.
Like by both?
Hold on.
Hey, can we let's talk about something we can all agree on. Justin Jones is an idiot. So what does he want to do?
So it's called the Stop American Gestapo Act.
Okay.
And what he wants is for ICE agents and all law enforcement to not wear a mask because he was so mad that ICE agents wouldn't talk to him when he was, out there berating them and questioning them about who they are and what are you doing here and do you have a warrant for this person's arrest? When the whole
when the
ICE thing was going down
ICE raids
in
were going
Nashville.
down.
Yeah. So
I'm just sick of the Nazi references.
they refused to engage with his office. So now this is him fighting back. He says, quote, "For too long, Donald Trump and his willing accomplices at the state level have increasingly used ICE as an anonymous and extrajudicial police force to engage in targeted terror."
Targeted terror.
Yeah.
Is that what he says? All right.
Yeah.
This is what I think of him.
Yeah.
That's what I think of him.
Is that what you think of him?
Yeah.
Well,
Don't worry, I'll wear a mask I won't wear a mask while I do it.
Do you know what by the way, what I think when I hear of Justin Jones?
Make it stop!
That's what I think of Justin Jones.
Joan, do you have one? Do you have an audio clip about him?
no.
She doesn't need one. You know what, Joan? You can borrow mine.
Make it stop!
I don't think ICE was under any legal authority to have to deal with Justin Jones.
No, of course not.
That's number
no.
one. And you know what I would ask Justin Jones? If you believe that the people that are being sent to Alligator Alcatraz, if you believe that they are being wrongly detained, then I would ask Justin Jones, would you be willing to go spend the night with those folks at Alligator Island? If these are all just, God's children and they're wonderful people and they should be in church, and if they weren't in prison, they'd be in church. If you think these are such great citizens, well, they're not citizens. If you think these are such great people, would you spend the night with them in the prison? How much time would you like to spend with these people? Because you and I know, Joan and KGB, we all know that these guys are gang members. These guys are violent criminals, and that's why they're going to Alligator Alcatraz. And so I think it would be interesting for him to put his money where his mouth is, or his time where his mouth is. And if you really want to get to know these people, then Justin, by all means, go get to know them. And by the way, the whole stupidity of the, saying that ICE should not be allowed to wear masks. Well, here's the problem. The problem is you can't be trusted. So these guys go running around, and doing what they need to do without masks on. Well, then it's his side that is doing the doxing.
Mayor O'Connell
It is Mayor
did the
O'Connell.
doxing.
It is Mayor O'Connell and his office and all these other folks on the left that talk about doxing, including Hakeem Jeffries, the leader of the Democrat Party in the House of Representatives. So can we all just be honest?
Make it stop!
It's so funny. That was an accident. I accidentally hit the play bar on my computer. And, but I mean, here's the thing about Justin Jones. He's only doing it for the pub. He's only doing it for the clicks.
Yes. Again, performative. It's all like their actions, almost every action that these people do is performative.
Yeah.
It's like
Because-
AOC with I remember she was outside those detention centers crying. with her
Crying.
beautiful
big,
makeup.
Leaning on her.
Beautiful makeup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1 mile away from the actual detention center.
Yeah, white, crispy
yeah.
white
Yeah.
suit. Remember that whole thing?
When I cry, I make sure I stare into a camera and look sad while I cry.
Oh, yeah. Well, and see, that's the thing with the video that I just played, the woman screaming,
Yeah.
"Make it stop." I mean, if you listened to the show yesterday, you know what I did. It's a whole thing. So it's almost like the people that are crying, and this is a leftist thing, the people that are crying when they put up a video about how upset they are with the treatment of these, migrants or immigrants, when in reality they're illegal alien gang members, but whatever. And it's like, okay, so if you screw up and you have to do a second take, then do you have to get the crying going again? How exactly does that work? In other words, it's all performative. All right, real quick, who's doing what for 4th of July? Now, we are off tomorrow and we're off on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I am working Red Eye Radio, so if you have nothing else to do overnight,
Yeah, that's not like
Thursday morning, then, knock yourselves out. Joan, I know that you'll be up listening. So
Sure.
what do you, I'm coming into downtown.
Okay.
I'm going to come into
are you
downtown.
really?
That's risky.
Why is that risky?
Because it's like it's literally hundreds of thousands of people shoulder to shoulder out on Broadway.
I've done it before.
It's brutal.
Are you doing it with Amy or without?
I'm doing it with.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How about Riker?
Riker's with his dad.
Okay.
So it's me and Amy. We're going to go and we're going to wade into the great unwashed. I'm kidding. I'm looking forward to it.
So we're looking for police reports about what happened to you after it's over.
No, it's all going to be fine.
Stomped on by an angry mob.
Don't go down by the river.
Unless you have a van. Unless you live in a van down by the river, that's fine.
Don't get drunk and then go down to the river.
That's right.
Got it. Okay, very good. So that's what I'm doing. I'm coming downtown. It's something I've been trying to get Amy to do for a long time.
I have an 8 a.m. tea time on 4th of July, and then we're doing the Murfreesboro fireworks display.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good. And KGB, how about you?
Well, I'll be working here, making sure the shows are going well. But then afterwards, I'm going to see my family's neighborhood always does a big 4th of July show. Like they get, the food trucks and all that stuff come to the neighborhood.
Nice.
And then there's a big fireworks show for all the kids. And the kids get their faces painted and stuff like that. So that's going to be fun.
All right, very good. Well, everybody have a good 4th of July. And we will, again, be back here next Monday, as a matter of fact.
4 days. That's a lot. That's a long time.
I'm having microphone problems, KGB. I don't know if you can tell, but the thing won't stay up.
Someone's yelling at me in the YouTube chat from my microphone, but I don't know why mine's fine.
I don't know. Anyway, all right, we got to go. It is 5:51 at Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. By the way, the Super Text line is open. Oh, somebody said, and I don't know if somebody's trying to trap me, but somebody wanted a question to be, are you upset that the Senate removed the no tax on overtime and no tax on tips from the bill, from the big, beautiful bill? So they didn't remove that.
No, they
did
not.
I think somebody's trying to get me, Joan.
Yeah.
I think somebody's trying to trick the vulnerable host. So no, they did not do that. Actually, it's still in. And I think we're going to probably have a vote. We're going to have a vote within what? Do you think by 1 or 2 o'clock this afternoon, Joan? Do they have a time yet?
They don't have a time, and they're having trouble getting everyone in because there's been bad weather and delayed flights and canceled flights all around the country. So,
are they trying to get an early vacation?
They're just teeing up that there may be some issues with getting everyone to Washington, D.C. to do the vote in the first place.
Yeah, that's a problem. They've had a lot of issues with weather and so forth. And so you've got planes all across the country, different airlines that have been having a lot of issues. And that is impacting lawmakers' ability to get back to Washington, D.C. That's number one. And number two is there's a certain handful of Republicans who are not sold on this bill. So there's that aspect of it as well. I will tell you about that and a whole lot more straight ahead. Super text line is open, 615-737-9986. Joan Jones has the news at 6. Joan, what's coming up?